Hey everyone, welcome back to Geek Recommends. You know, there's something absolutely magical about popping in an old anime and just getting hit with that wave of pure nostalgia. I'm talking about those hand-drawn cells, that grainy film quality, and stories that weren't afraid to get weird, like really weird. Man, let me tell you, modern anime is incredible, but these retro gems from the 80s and 90s, they had this raw energy that you just don't see anymore. Today, I'm going to share with you an incredible collection of retro anime that still absolutely slap in 2024. And I'm not just talking about the obvious classics. We're diving deep into some titles that might have slipped under your radar. All right, kicking things off, we've got the one that started an empire, Mobile Suit Gundam 1. Now, I know what you're thinking. Really, the original Gundam movie? But hear me out, you guys. This isn't just nostalgia talking. We follow Amuro Ray, this teenage kid who literally stumbles into piloting the Federation's secret weapon, the RX-78-2 Gundam, when his space colony gets attacked by Zeon forces. What makes this special isn't just the giant robots, though they're absolutely amazing. It's how it treats war. This isn't your typical good versus evil story. You've got soldiers on both sides just trying to survive, political intrigue, and Amuro dealing with PTSD while being forced to fight again and again. The animation might look dated, but those battle sequences, chef's kiss, they still give me goosebumps. Next up, we have Akira, and let me tell you why this masterpiece still blows minds after all these years. Set in Neo-Tokyo, 2019, yeah, we passed that already, bike gang leader Kaneda tries to save his friend Tetsuo, who develops psychic powers after a military accident. But Tetsuo's powers spiral out of control, threatening to destroy everything. Look, you guys, this movie had a budget of over 1 billion yen in 1988 money. They animated on ones. That means 24 unique frames per second instead of the usual 12. The level of detail is absolutely insane, from the light trails on the bikes to that grotesque final transformation. Speaking of movies that changed the game, we've got the Patlabor films, and let me tell you, these are something else entirely. Directed by Mamoru Oshii, yet the Ghost in the Shell guy, these aren't your typical mecha anime. Set in a near-future Tokyo where giant robots called laborers are used for construction, we follow the Special Vehicle Division 2 as they deal with labor crimes. But here's what's wild. The first movie is basically a techno-thriller about a computer virus, and the second one? It's the slow-burn political thriller that feels more like a Tom Clancy novel than a mecha anime. The attention to detail is insane, from the realistic mecha designs to the bureaucratic red tape the cops deal with. Oshii said, "What if we made a mecha anime, but realistic?" And honestly, it works brilliantly. Now, let's talk about the original Macross series, because this show basically invented the space opera love triangle. When Earth gets attacked by giant alien warriors called the Zentradi, humanity's last hope is a massive transforming battleship. But the real story, it's about pilot Hikaru Ichijio caught between idol singer Lin Minmei and bridge officer Misa Hayase while trying to save humanity. What's absolutely amazing is how music becomes a literal weapon. The Zentradi have no concept of culture, so Minmei's songs literally shock them into submission. The transforming Valkyrie fighters are still some of the coolest mecha designs ever. And that love triangle, it set the template for decades of anime to come. And of course, we can't talk about Macross without mentioning Do You Remember Love? Quite simply, one of the most beautiful anime films ever made. This movie retells the original series, but with a budget that was insane for 1984. Every frame is packed with detail, from the transforming Valkyries to the massive space battles. And that climactic concert scene with Ayoboiti Maska playing while the final battle rages, that's cinema, baby! The way they condense the TV series into 2 hours while making everything bigger and more emotional, it's the gold standard for compilation movies. Let me tell you about Dangaioh, or Great Planet Evil Destroyer Dangaioh if you want the full title. This OVA is absolutely wild.
4 psychic teenagers get kidnapped and turned into pilots for combining mecha, but then they rebel against their evil creator. I'm gonna be honest, the plot is bonkers, but that's what makes it so great. You've got psychic powers, combining robots, and some of the most over-the-top special attacks in anime history. Psychic Wave! Spiral Knuckle! The hot-blooded energy is off the charts. It's only 3 episodes, but man, those 3 episodes are pure, concentrated awesome. Moving on to the vision of Escaflowne, and man, this show was doing isekai before isekai was cool. Hitami's just your average high school girl who's into track and fortune-telling when, bam, she gets transported to the world of Gaia, where Earth hangs in the sky like a moon. She gets caught up in a war involving Van, this young king with a transforming mecha, and the mysterious Zyback Empire. But here's what's special. This isn't just mecha battles and romance. You've got destiny manipulation, steampunk technology powered by dragon hearts, and Yoko Kono's absolutely gorgeous soundtrack. The way it blends shoujo and shonen elements, revolutionary for its time. This one's special. Royal Space Force: The Wings of Hanamis was Gainax's first film, and man, they came out swinging. We follow Shirotsu, this lazy space cadet who suddenly finds purpose when he volunteers to be the first man in space for his nation's struggling space program. But here's the thing, this isn't your typical space adventure. It's this beautiful meditation on human ambition, faith, and what drives us to reach for something greater. The world building is absolutely incredible. They created an entire alternate history with different technology, religions, and cultures. And those launch sequences, some of the most gorgeous hand-drawn animation you'll ever see. Now here's one that might have flown under your radar, Crusher Joe. This movie is pure 80s space adventure goodness. Joe and his team of Crushers, which basically means space mercenaries who'll take any job, get hired for what seems like a simple escort mission. But of course, things go sideways when their cargo, a frozen princess, gets stolen and they're framed for it. What follows is this awesome mix of space battles, prison breaks, and disco dancing. Yes, you heard that right. The animation by Studio Sunrise is top-notch, and it's got that perfect 80s anime aesthetic with the big hair and the bigger explosions. Plus, it's directed by Yoshikazu Yasuhiko, the character designer for Gundam. Let's talk about X-1999, and you guys, this movie is dark with a capital D. The fate of the world hangs in the balance as Kamui returns to Tokyo and must choose between the dragons of heaven, who want to save humanity, or the dragons of Earth, who want to destroy it to save the planet. Clamp's artwork translated to animation is absolutely stunning. Every frame is dripping with style. The fight scenes are brutal and beautiful, with each character having unique abilities tied to their personalities. Fair warning though, this movie does not pull punches. Characters you think are safe? They're not. It's Game of Thrones before Game of Thrones. Time for something a little lighter with Dirty Pair Flash. This is actually a reboot of the classic Dirty Pair, and it's exactly as fun as it sounds. Kei and Yuri are trouble consultants for the 3WA, which basically means they solve problems while causing massive property damage. These girls are supposed to be elite agents, but somehow every mission ends with something exploding. The character dynamics are fantastic. Kei's the hot-headed tomboy, Yuri's the boy-crazy girly girl, and together they're the lovely angels. Although everyone calls them the Darty Pair because destruction follows them everywhere. The 90s animation style gives it this perfect balance of comedy and action. Plus, it's got some pretty solid mecha action in there too. Oh man, Gao Gai Gar! This is what happens when you take the super robot genre and turn everything up to 11. After getting nearly killed saving a mysterious boy, Guy becomes a cyborg and pilots Gao Gai Gar to fight the Zonder, mechanical aliens trying to turn Earth into machine life. But what makes this truly fantastic is the sheer hot-blooded energy. Every attack has a ridiculous name that Guy screams at the top of his lungs. Dividing Driver! Hell and Heaven! The courage-powered mechanics mean that literally being brave makes you stronger. It's everything great about super robot shows distilled into pure awesome. And we can't mention Gao Gai Gar without talking about Gao Gai Gar Final, the OVA sequel that somehow makes everything even more insane. Set after the TV series, the GGG faces new enemies that make Dazonder look like child's play. The animation quality jump from TV to OVA is incredible. Every battle is movie quality. They introduce new forms, new attacks, and the stakes are literally universal. When Guy performs the Goldian Crusher for the first time, I swear you can feel the impact through the screen. It's the perfect send-off to the Brave series. Let's dive into Battle Angel Alita, or Gunmu if you're a purist. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this OVA is dark, like super duper dark, but in the best way possible. The story follows Alita, a cyborg girl found in a scrapyard with no memories, who turns out to be an insanely powerful warrior. Set in this dystopian future where the elite live in a floating city while everyone else fights for scraps below, Alita's trying to figure out who she is while becoming a bounty hunter and, ripping people's spines out. What makes this truly fantastic is how it balances brutal action with these really tender moments of humanity. The fight choreography is insane for a 90s OVA. Speaking of Gainax, we have to talk about Gunbuster. And you guys, this is peak Gainax before they gave us Evangelion. Noriko Takayama goes from being the worst pilot in her school to humanity's last hope against an alien threat. But this isn't your typical underdog story. We're talking about time dilation, where fighting in space means everyone you love ages while you stay young. The emotional weight of that alone is heavy, but then they hit you with some of the most epic space battles ever animated. That final episode, when it goes from black and white to color for that moment, I'm not crying, you're crying. Anno basically said, what if we make Top Gun, but with giant robots and existential dread? And it's absolutely perfect. Here's Lupin 3, The Castle of Cagliostro. And yes, this is that Miyazaki film, his directorial debut before Studio Ghibli was even a thing. Our gentleman thief Lupin and his buddy Jigen are living their best life after a casino heist when they discover their sweet cash is actually counterfeit. This leads them to the small country of Cagliostro, where Lupin has to rescue a princess from an evil count while uncovering the secret of the legendary Cagliostro treasure. The car chases are legendary, like they influenced everything from The Great Mouse Detective to Batman the Animated Series. It's pure adventure from start to finish with that Miyazaki magic we all know and love.
Now, Kite is controversial, let's say, but if we're talking about influential retro anime, we can't ignore it. Sawa is a schoolgirl assassin taking revenge on the criminals who killed her parents, guided by corrupt cops who might not have her best interests at heart. The action choreography is absolutely incredible. John Woo-style gunplay mixed with brutal hand-to-hand combat. The animation quality, especially for the action scenes, is mind-blowing for a late 90s OVA. Just make sure you're watching the right version, if you know what I mean. This one's definitely not for kids. Finally, let's talk about Robot Carnival, specifically the Presents segment, though honestly, the whole anthology is mind-blowing. This is 9 different directors going absolutely wild with the concept of robots. Presence hits different though. It's about a man who builds an android so perfect she develops a soul and he destroys her out of fear. But you've also got comedy, action, surreal art pieces. It's like if someone said, "Show me what anime can really do," and these mad lads delivered. The animation quality is off the charts because each director got to focus on just their short segment. No TV budget constraints, no weekly deadlines, just pure, unfiltered creativity. It's art, plain and simple. Looks like that is the end of our journey through retro anime greatness. These shows and movies remind us why we fell in love with anime in the first place. That perfect blend of stunning visuals, complex stories, and pure imagination. In next video, we're switching gears to the world of manga. I'll be bringing you my top 10 manga that absolutely need anime adaptations. Some of these stories are so good, I can't believe they haven't been animated yet. If you enjoyed this trip down memory lane, drop a like, show your support, and definitely subscribe and hit that bell to stay notified. And hey, let me know in the comments, what's your favorite retro anime that still holds up today? Take care, everyone, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one.